All right, folks. Well, welcome back to InnRoads Plays D&D. We are going into the innumerable week because we've been sending out our broadcasts in split format so that we can roll them out at a regular pace. We are coming fresh off of the second, or I guess third, big battle. This time they were able to demolish a goblin camp, but we'll get into some of those details here in a moment. Let's first off welcome back our crew. I'm Jeff Romo. I'll be doing the DM duties here, and we'll be passing it around the table here. We'll start with, let's see on the screen from my left to right, I've got Luke, Basha, and Perna. So, Luke, how you doing today?
Doing good. I'm Luke, host of Game Store Profits. I'm playing Silas, a halfling face melter, and that's me.
That is an official class, by the way, face melter.
Yep.
It is when I play it.
I can't contradict you on that one because you've gotten probably half the kills for the.
That's super awesome. All right, next we've got the first Mike in Southern California.
Yes, I'm Mike Basha, and I play Kindrik, the rogue, and I'm ready to head into the deep.
Head into the deep, huh? All right, we'll see how that works out. And then next up, our friend in New Jersey.
Yes, I am Mike Perna. I am co-host with Luke and general bigwig over at InnRoads, and I'm playing Baerd Ironborn, and I'm freezing to death.
It's wee cold out there.
Just
It's
a touch.
what are we in? Are we in single digits now, or where are we at?
Yes, we are
Oh,
actually.
man. That's awful. That is just plain awful. All right. Well, so right now, you guys, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to move you guys over to the map that you last saw on your adventures.
Big hole.
Yeah, we got the big hole here. So let's move you guys over to the map on Roll20. Time we came across this encampment, it was full of goblins, but with some quick work of major firepower, mighty hammer swinging, and the flinging of many daggers and arrows, you were able to put down a plethora of goblins, including their hobgoblin commander, a disgusting fellow named Grubyub. But, interestingly enough, to the north, you did have one survivor who did manage to get away. But not only was there the benefit of finding some wonderful treasures in this little encampment, there was also some interesting people to find as well, namely the prisoners that were being corralled by these goblins, Stiv and Gentry, and the person that they were actually in charge of escorting to the very same destination you guys are going to in Black Horse, and that is Undil, a half-elf who's seems like he's definitely not a person to be on the road very much. He's looks like he'd probably have a much better time of it if he was living back in Melbourne right now. But in any case, he's here. They ended up getting captured in the middle of the night, leaving behind one of their men, Harlan, who was the fellow a couple sessions back that you guys rescued from a separate goblin party.
Whose basic characteristic is he's a bit of a wuss.
Yes, he is. And from Kindrik's experience in the underworld, he did find that that person, that Harlan, was probably involved with the unsavory types that would go along with your familial organizations, as it were, your organized crime within the city. So the chances are, and I think you guys had already made the conclusion, chances are these other fellows that are here probably are involved with that type as well. So we have that. There was a list of items that you were able to pull off of the dead goblins. I think we went over those briefly, but just to kind of recall a couple of the main things that were found. One of which I believe was, or two things. One was a spell book that was there that had an odd symbol on the cover, and there is also a it was kind of being used as a scepter of sorts by Grubyub, the hobgoblin, but it looks like it's the broken half of a wizard's staff. And at the very end of the session last time, I think it was Silas that indicated that or he was able to discover that the symbols there indicate a group of wizards, the Red Wizards out of Hillsfar, which is odd to say the least. I mean, they are call it what you will, a militant wing of wizards. But how a hobgoblin would end up with a broken staff is interesting, to say the least. So there you go. That's kind of where we're at. And then the last find is obviously this little excavation site at the top right hand of the map, where we have our 3 heroes. Looks like that is a hole. The map doesn't quite describe it as I like, but there is kind of a rickety spiral staircase that goes down along the outside of it. There are tools in or around the place that indicate there have been not only human but also goblin workers digging in here, excavating as it were, which kind of goes along with the fact that this entire campsite, the tents, it looks like goblins have lived here for a couple weeks. There's disgusting filth everywhere, that sort of thing. The smell is unimaginable, but the tents themselves are of human make. So there you go. So now the decision is, it is around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The source of your trip out here, the 2 mules dragging a wagon with supplies, is back in the original clearing that you guys fought the first set of goblins at, and that's being watched over by Harlan at this point. So you have that. Stiv and Gentry have offered, why don't we know a location where we can camp out overnight. It doesn't necessarily have to be that clearing, since it seems goblins know about it too. But they could, you could set up shop for the evening, and they said they'd be willing to go into Black Horse with you, as you guys watch our back, we'll watch yours type thing. But there is this mysterious excavation site. So there it is. What shall you do? What shall you do?
I believe the consensus before we started was the hole.
Yeah, the hole is not exactly on mission, but there's a hole.
And I want to know what's in it.
All right, so how do you fellows want to handle the donkeys and the supplies?
Yeah, I don't trust Harlan.
No. Why would you say that?
Why ever would I say that?
Being the lawful good cleric that you are, why on earth would you say such a thing?
Could it be because he's a scoundrel who ran away at the first sign of danger?
Yes, that could possibly be part of it. Yes, yes, indeed. All right. Well, okay. So you've got. I put the trio of people at the bottom: Stiv, Gentry, and Undil. So they are about to depart. I think they may have already kind of walked away at that point when we ended the session last time. So if you guys want to let them go and continue, if you guys want to go and collect the donkeys in the cart to bring them up to this location, that's a possibility as well. Just wanted to put some opportunities out there for you.
I think that was the plan.
Okay. So you guys are going to go ahead and venture back to the original combat site, and grab the stuff. All right. So you guys start heading back out of the campsite there, and you are looking to. I mean, do you want to go ahead and camp with Stiv, Gentry, and Harlan and Undil, or how do you want to handle that?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, we might as well. Then we can keep an eye on them.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so you guys head on down the trail. It doesn't take too long for you guys to catch up with them, considering that they were, pretty wounded. and they're not walking entirely too fast, especially with Undil. Undil's complaining every step of the way about how they were supposed to stay on the road, and why on earth did they even think about camping somewhere else, yada yada. So, yeah, all sorts of fun there. Viv looks back at you guys and sees you approaching up the trail, and all right, so you guys decided you're going to go ahead and join us, huh? You're going to be heading into Black Horse with us. We could probably leave early in the morning if you like.
Wait, we're not going into Black Horse with them. We don't have to tell them that, but we're not going to Black Horse with them. We're going into the hole.
Well, that's fine, but
Literally,
this is the part where you interact, my friend.
This is the proverbial. I'm right behind you.
Yeah, we'll be right behind you. Why don't you guys start making dinner, and we'll be right there.
I'd just say, tell him that seems like a good plan.
Okay.
Under your breath, not the one we're taking, but
It's not really what we're going to be doing, but okay.
Have we figured out what to do with the horses? Oh, you know what? Why don't we have amongst the three of us? What if we had them start moving the horses to? We'll catch up with them, and then we end up in the hole. Do we trust these guys enough to do that?
No.
Well, you know, I take your trust with a grain of salt. How about you? How about you, Baerd? Do you trust people? I'm a rogue, and I think the face melter trusts people less than I do.
Lad, if there's one thing I've figured out, it's that the people who deal in righteousness and holiness are the ones who know that there ain't much in this world. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them.
All right. Well, that's what I was looking for.
So, all right. So you guys won't be trusting them with the donkeys and the gear or anything, right?
All right, back to camp. Let's get some dinner, get some sleep, and get up before sunup.
Okay. All right. So you guys make your way back through the forest. This time, obviously, with a lot less pressure going on because you're not chasing any goblins. You're not finding any giant rats outside of the burnt giant rat hamburger that you left behind from last time, which still smells fresh. Which still smells fresh, by the way. You guys make your move into the original scene of battle. I guess I can go ahead and move you guys over to that map. Not a big deal, but this way at least you gotta remember where that was. All right. So you guys make your way back into camp. Stiv and Gentry are quiet. Undil is griping. I think Gentry was hurt the worst, but they've managed to get back into camp. Harlan is. You see your two donkeys or I guess they're mules, I should say, a real bit hardier. You see your two mules, and the wagon is still in the campsite, but. Harlan looks like you don't see him anywhere around, but as soon as you guys clear the brushes, he sneaks out from the brush up here in the north side, right up here, and makes his way down to you guys. And, I can't believe that you actually made it back, and you're alive. That's incredible. Thank you so much for doing this. And Gentry gives him a look, and Harlan immediately falls to silence. He remains quiet. But other than that, I mean, there's not a lot of conversation. Harlan does manage to make his way over to you guys and at least thank you quietly. But yeah, for saving his life and for bringing back his boss. But after that, I mean, Gentry's pretty quick about coming over and saying, just go get the camp lit up so that we can get ready to bunk in for the evening. And he does just that. kind of claps his jaw shut and heads over and starts working the fire into existence. And right around 5 o'clock or so, the sun's light is kind of barely a purplish bruise in the sky, and the firelight's quickly becoming the primary source of light for you. This close to the moon's sea, it's a rare evening where you're going to see stars, and unfortunately this is not one of them. The gray skies up above just basically turn into a mist, a shroud, if you will, of darkness. And you guys huddle around the firelight. And anything that you guys want to talk about or anything? I mean, at this point, Stiv and Gentry and Harlan are talking back and forth. Stiv brings out a necklace that he has some owlbear claws on. And he says, "Yeah, we ran into one of these fellas about a month or two back, coming down up off the hills. We took a side trail just past Black Horse and ran into one of these guys. Boy, that was a heck of a fight. We lost a good guy then, but we managed to get out." And then they seem like they have some, rumor mill that's going on from around the area. So if you guys want to chat them up, that's great. If not, you want to go ahead and sack out. I would assume that you guys want to set a watch of some kind.
Yeah, I mean, I think Baerd would volunteer for the first watch.
Okay. Let's see here. So I'll have you do that. And who wants to take second watch? Because I'm assuming that you guys don't want to all be asleep while they're awake, just based on your level of trust at this point of these guys.
I'll take the second watch.
Okay, so Kindrik's on second. And then Silas, I assume you'll be welcoming the dawn.
Sounds good to me.
All right, Baerd. I think you know what to do. You're going to have you roll a perception check.
All right. That's persuasion. I'm not persuading the knight to not have anything happen to me.
Please, Mr. Knight.
You know what? There could be a conversation about prayer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You could be praying for insight.
Ugh.
That sort of thing.
Another one of those instances where I wish I was trained in this.
It's okay.
That first roll is significantly lower than the second one.
We're not going to panic. That's not what we do here. We don't panic. We move on. It's okay.
We just wait for the orc to show up and then hit him with the hammer.
Don't we want to say he has the advantage?
Not at this stage, no.
Okay.
That was a good play though.
Sorry, Baerd.
All right. Well, Baerd, your evening isn't totally. Your point at watch isn't totally without some kind of fruit. In the distance, and actually you're sharing watch with Stiv. Stiv is over at the side. He is smoking at a long stem pipe and kind of staring off in the distance, and he's picking at one of his bandages. But both of you, you may be kind of starting to think about Moradin and thinking about how he's carried you through this last day of travel. I mean, some days you've done these errands for Yublin, and my goodness, I mean, you've gone the whole way and not had trouble, just a lot of bad weather. But this time you've already been in three combats and come out the other end alive. So, there's a lot of thankfulness on your heart. So maybe that's kind of why you're not quite hearing in some things. But one thing does stick out, and that's the distant cry of wolves. Sounds like it's kind of reverberating off the hills or through the hills to the north of you. But, I mean, if you have, let's see here, how would you branch off survival? Do you have any kind of affinity for that sort of thing in your character sheet?
I mean, I can roll survival if that's what you want, but I don't have any affinity for it.
Ah, darn it! I was hoping for some affinity. Just kidding. Go ahead and roll a survival.
That's significantly better.
Nice. All right. It sounds like these guys are about 2 miles away, maybe 3.
Are they moving towards us?
Doesn't seem that way. The kind of howling that's going on sounds like the kind that after they've already found something to chase.
So, like, if we stay in our little camp by the cozy fire, we should be okay.
Correct.
Maybe they're eating goblins.
I mean, we did leave enough of them for them.
Wasn't there a wounded one that went running away?
That's
Totally
right.
got eaten by wolves.
Totally gonna be wolf chow.
Are we afraid of wolves? Really? Come on.
They ride giant rats. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Rodents of unusual size?
Rodents of unusual sight have been seen in the hills. All right, so that is your watch. During that time, did you want to chat up Stiv at all, or are you just kind of doing your thing? And then...
As much as the player Mike would like to learn some of what Stiv and his kind are doing here, Baerd wouldn't want anything to do with them. Baerd would have one eye on Stiv. So
Well, you get plenty of scab picking, nose picking, and pipe smoking to fulfill your dreams
fantastic.
when you finally head off into Dwarven La La Land.
They're used to that from Kindrik anyway, so.
Yeah, that's right. So, Kindrik, Baerd comes over and shakes you awake, and as you wake up, you hear.
I will be sure to tell him about the wolves.
And just as Baerd is mentioning that, you hear in the distance that the kind of high-pitched yipping sound that means a successful hunt. It still seems like they're about a couple miles away, so whatever they began chasing, it seems like they ran it to ground. So that's what you get to wake up to, Kindrik. So, Mr. Kindrik, I will have you go ahead and roll a perception check as well for your turn at the watch. And this time, Stiv goes over and he prods Harlan to wake up, and Harlan wakes up. He's still pretty sore and everything. Oh,
Painful, man.
I'm trying to talk and your rolls are making me sick. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. We joke. We kid. It's okay. All right. So the evening for you. So you've got what are you thinking about as you're sitting there whiling the hours away? You've got Harlan sitting across the fire. He's watching the eastern side, and you're watching kind of the western southern side, because along the north to you is that kind of big rock outcropping on the north side of the map. So that kind of gives you some defense there.
I'm thinking about the something important that was taken from me, and I have to steal it back.
Oh, you're thinking about your character, huh?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's see here.
I'm thinking about myself. Enough about me. What are you guys thinking about me?
You don't want to know. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so Harlan is over on the side, and he's kind of worrying at his bandages and stuff like that, and he stops up short and he looks over to the west. I'm sorry, the east, where he's at. So he's kind of camped out over here while you're down over here, Kindrik. He looks up. He kind of looks a little worried, and he actually comes back over and he stands by the fire for a second.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right. I should probably go ahead and let me throw some characters out there real quick, just for frame of reference. Can do that. Let's see here. Switch to tokens. Go. So there's Harlan. And then throw Kindrik out here. There you are, Kindrik. Voila. So, all right. So that's happening. He's basically just kind of looking at his bandage a little bit and looking over his shoulder and looking at his bandage on. He has like a bandage across his chest where he had gotten stuck by a goblin sword. Did you hear that? Did you hear it over in the brush?
No.
I think it might be a badger. I'm not sure. Those things are ornery.
A honey badger. Oh. Wake
Not
up.
a honey badger if we're not in the desert.
I was wondering how long it would take somebody to reference honey badger.
Not very long.
Didn't take long at all. It might be a badger, I think. I don't know. So what do you want to do?
Tell him to go. I'm gonna tell him to go check it out.
What do you want me to check it out? I thought you were.
It's nothing to be scaredy. You need to grow some and go over there and check it out.
All right. So he'll go over there and he'll start taking a look for something. But after a while, he doesn't hear anything. He just he waves at you and says it's all clear. Thinks that he's all right.
Oh, I expected him to run back like a crying sissy. I'm impressed.
He just kind of gives you a wave and says, all right. So how many? He'll towards the end of your watch, you can see he kind of is getting a little bit more relaxed. And there hasn't been that many sounds other than the wolves that you heard when you woke up, and so eventually he'll come back and he'll chat with you a little bit if you want, or if you want to go ahead and wake up Silas, that's up to you.
We'll let Silas sleep a little bit more. Let's talk to the guy.
Okay.
I mean, if he's talking.
Sure. So he's kind of sitting by the fire right now, and over by the box here, maybe over the brush over the side is that's where you have the cart. I don't know where you guys have all the cart and everything like that. The guys who are asleep are probably over near the rock cropping over here. Unless Silas, Baerd, if you wanted to be camped out somewhere else, that's fine too. But you probably want to be as close as reasonable is to the fire. So Harlan's comes over to you and basically just wants to take another opportunity to say thanks. I really appreciate what you did for me. All of you people. I know it's not an easy thing to do to help strangers out here, but thank you.
You're welcome. What were you guys out here for? What are you guys doing out here?
This is what we had hoped was a safe campsite. We've used it before. He starts motioning towards the sleeping half-elf who's, even when he's asleep, looks like he's complaining. But he points to we've been assigned to bring him to Black Horse and then bring him back after a couple of days. But normally we haven't run into these kinds of troubles as we had with these goblins. Just seems like they're a little bit bolder these days.
So what are you on your way to Dark Horse for?
Black Horse.
Black Horse.
Black Horse, yes. Well, we bring Undil there, and he's got some business to attend to, and then we escort him back.
So he's your customer, he's not your prisoner.
Oh, no. They were only prisoners here were the ones that the goblins took. And that's about the only time he's been a prisoner. He starts a little bit, like he jumps a little bit because Stiv rolls over in his sleeping bag, but it doesn't look like the guy's waking up. And he goes back and he kind of calms down for a second, or calms down after a second, and then continues. But no, it's supposed to be a very, very easy mission to bring this guy to Black Horse. Have him do his thing, and then we bring him back. That's the long and short of it.
So as I'm listening, I'm thinking about this guy, and I'm thinking, why is this guy being escorted by these? Why is this guy escorting when it was obviously an easy trip, right? Because it was supposed
Well,
to
it
be
could
an easy
be. I
trip,
mean,
because this guy is not. This guy's was this the guy that ran?
this is the just as a quick reminder. This Harlan is the one that you guys came across that was fighting by himself, and you guys helped him fight off the goblins, or you fought the goblins off for him. Undil is the half elf that basically the goblins had come across them one time, or the first time, scooped them up and took off with them. And Harlan had managed to, kind of like what you're saying, he managed to hide somewhere. Oh no, I'm sorry. Rewind. Retcon that. He had actually been asleep when they attacked, and they got carried off, and Harlan was still involved with fighting him. Unfortunately, he kind of got left there for the time being. So when you guys came across him, he had been still kind of in the middle of a fight with the goblins. So you have to forgive my memory. It's been more than 2 days since our last game.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember too.
So at this, I mean, so he's basically just saying that it should have been easy to, it's three of us bringing this fellow over there. So just, I don't know. Like I said, the goblins are a bit bolder than they have been before.
Yes, I see that. Interesting. Alright. I have to find a way to close out this conversation, because I think I'll wake up Silas now.
Okay. Alright, so Silas, you feel a nudging at your shoulder.
Ooh, an ominous nudging, apparently.
Dun dun.
All
So
right.
you wake up. It's still the middle of the evening, and it's probably like around 2, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. And Harlan is making his way back over to his bed, and he's gonna nudge. I think Gentry's the next one up to stand the watch with you. So that brings on Silas. So Silas, go ahead and let's have a perception roll there.
It's all right.
Not too bad, not too bad. All right. So
Hey,
Silas.
if I saw things on a 9, you're okay.
So Silas, you are. I would assume you're kind of taking up a similar position. Your fellows are probably on the west side of the fire, and the other guys are on the east side of the fire, however you want to do it. So I'm assuming you're probably over where Kindrik was doing his watch, unless you have a different spot that you want to post
That's
in.
fine.
Okay. Let me grab your character here. I'll throw him out there as well. So there you go. All right. So you, Kindrik over here. He's on the fire. No. So we'll put Kindrik over there. You hear to your left, to the west side, you hear some rustling in the bushes, or actually I should say rustling in the treetops.
That's the way we came, right?
Say that again?
That's the way we already had gone.
Correct. That's in that direction. That's where you went. Yeah, that's where you went to go to the goblin encampment.
Okay.
Here? Right over here? Oh, I can't see.
Actually, let's do this. So, yes, kind of over in that direction. You got it.
Okay. Now, does my dark vision help me at all here? Because I'm a dwarf, I can see within 60 feet as if it was bright light.
It would. It would
We all
definitely
can.
help you. Yeah. I think, Silas, you do too?
I think so, yeah.
So, yeah, so I mean, things kind of have that kind of, I don't know, night vision feel to it. Kind of, I'm trying to remember if in D&D the dark vision has color in it, or is it still kind of grayscale
No
like
color.
it was in
Let's see. You can see in dim light
movie?
within 60 feet as if it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. You can't discern color in darkness, only shades of gray.
Okay.
No, I guess I
So
don't.
the fire is given some light. Oh, you don't? Well, you have. Do halflings
It's a
have low
dwarf.
light at least?
It's a dwarf. Oh, it's a halfling. Oh, halfling. Sorry. Yes.
Does a halfling have low light vision in this world?
I have not seen it, but
Yeah,
I might.
seeing
I
it.
just don't. I'm just flipping through the book here really quick, so.
No worries. So it's kind of coming from above, like let's say over in this direction over here. You guys seeing that ping?
Yep.
Mhm.
So over in that direction. So Silas hears that. Kindrik, I don't know. At this point, you may already be asleep, or you're kind of getting to the point where you're getting asleep. And I'll place this guy over here. Your fellow night watchman. He's probably kind of looking around over in this direction, that sort of thing. So
is this a nature check kind of a situation?
sure, give me a nature check. Come on, big money.
Big money, no whammies.
Nice.
No whammies.
All right, Silas. So, you're starting to kind of sift through your memories of when you were younger and being in the forest, and the kind of sound that you're hearing, you're hearing the brushes move, or the tree leaves move, that sort of thing. It's those heavy pine needles that are out here that still kind of survive into the winter. Well, the perpetual winter that seems to be here. But you're also hearing... No, you're not hearing. You're smelling something. It's like a perfume of some kind. It smells very familiar.
Does it smell like a fey friend by any chance?
That's possible. Kind of think back into your past. You recall that there are some creatures in the forest that do have this kind of a smell, and this particular smell has a personal investment with you.
It smells like me, mommy.
So
All right. Well, I will certainly begin to look around a little bit.
Okay. All right. So you do you want to go nosing around in that little kind of mini clearing over there, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So
All right. So
my
you,
character here.
Sure. Was it you got your access to it, right?
Let me see here. Select move. New.
We had that same problem last time, didn't we? Let's see
Yeah.
here. Let me make sure I
Forget what I
have.
did last time that made it work.
I think I got it here. Show nameplate. Save changes. Sorry, give her a spin now.
Okay, yeah. But
Nice.
before I do that, I'm gonna go and take some fire with me.
Okay. All right. So you can
Nice.
you can use a you can
Torch,
use one of the
some kind.
kindlings there and kind of make a torch, or if you have one in your pack, that's fine. So you head on over there, and as you get into the clearing, that smell of perfume kind of starts to fade, but the sound and rustling doesn't. Now, let's see here. You start looking around. Give me another perception check.
Sorry.
No worries.
I don't know. Whoa!
Yeah, sweet.
Nice.
Okay. As the smell starts to fade, you're relying less on your sense of smell, and you're starting to use your sense of sight because the fire is starting to kind of cast some light out around you. And up in the tree limbs above you, at probably like around, I want to say 15 feet into a pine tree that's right there, you see two large eyes. And when they look at you, it's almost kind of like they move in a circle, like they dance in a circle in tandem. And you realize that they are definitely eyes. And then you
Move in a
hear
circle.
the sound of, yeah, kind of like, then you hear the fluttering of feathers. And the sound of claws gripping onto the branch.
All right. Is this so we're looking at okay, they're moving circles like this.
There you go. So yeah, you have found yourself a snow owl.
Okay. And it smells like perhaps the perfume I carry.
That was the kind of smell you had, but as you started coming into the clearing, that smell started to fade.
All right.
Follow it, Silas.
I want to. What'd you say?
Alone. Follow it alone into the dark.
Yeah, that works out well. I'm just gonna stop and watch Bird for a little while.
Okay. All right. Bird kind of moves back and forth on the branch for a little bit. The firelight, it actually kind of moves itself out a little bit into the firelight, just a bit, so that you can see its plumage, and it's like a mixture of grays with a lot of white. I mean, it's a snow owl, but it does have some kind of I don't want to call it camouflage. That's about as much as you can say. It's got some grayish feathers and plumage on the back.
Now, is this an animal that is appropriate for this area?
Appropriate, but very rare.
Okay.
Just simply because you're so close to the road here. However, they have to hunt, they have to go and look for food, that sort of thing. What was your nature roll? It's a 14. Okay, so you got a couple things going on here. You have the mention earlier when you guys were leaving the goblin camp that one of the guys was mentioning that there's a lot more of those goblins down here than there normally were before. And then you have the appearance of this owl here, which you wouldn't normally see in this area frequently. So it could be because, I don't know, a combination of these things, that it might be forcing it to go and look for food elsewhere. Or it could be something else, because this owl is acting mighty peculiar.
All right.
Just kind of sitting there watching you.
I, since everybody else was doing their little things while they were on watch, the thing I was doing while I was on watch was taking a closer look at the staff.
Okay.
Trying to understand a little bit more about it, seeing, how damaged it was, whether this is now just a historical curiosity or if there's any magic still about it, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I'm going to take it out.
Very good.
And just
All
see
right.
what the bird's reaction is.
Okay. You're reaching into your pouch, and you hear from beyond the brushes to your right. You hear, "Oi, everything all right over there?"
That's Gentry or whatever his name is?
Yeah, it's Gentry.
Alright, I'll just tell him, all's well.
All right, I'll go back to the east side. And so he'll go off back past the fire and over to the east side of the camp. All right, so you take out the staff, that kind of broken half of the staff there, and you look up at you hold it out, and you're kind of, you're observing it, but you're also looking up at the owl, and the owl kind of ducks its head just a little bit, and kind of almost into its shoulders, and then starts focusing a little bit more on that staff, and puffs up its feathers a bit, makes it kind of grow half as big as it usually is, and then it settles back down, and it just kind of watches you again. So it did take notice of this, the little broken staff that you brought out.
All right. How
So-
far away am I from him, give or take? You said he was
from the
a
owl?
few feet up, but
He's like maybe 10, maybe 12 feet up above you into the trees. No, call it 15. Call it 15 feet up. And you're probably like you're like right next to the tree. So that way your guys are actually being able to see your whatchamacallit, your expressions. Well, bird expressions and then your expression. So there you go. So how do you want to go about it?
I'm gonna just talk to it and pretend the thing is gonna understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask him if he's here to show me something.
It kind of like ducks its head a little bit.
I'm gonna try something that may not work, but since I have the spell ready anyway,
That's what makes it fun.
I am going to cast Comprehend Language,
Okay.
which allows me to, for some period of time, I forget how long it is, but long enough, to comprehend any spoken language.
Very good, very good. Okay, so you cast that language, or you cast that spell, and
Now, it doesn't let me speak that language necessarily, but
no, not necessarily, but you've.
So I'm gonna introduce myself.
Okay.
I am Silas Sylvan Smith of. Oh shoot, I don't even remember. What's the name of the forest that I'm from? Anyway, I greet you. What is your name, dear good friend?
It kind of like watches you, and it actually cocks its head to the side just a bit to kind of observe this this person who's actually addressing him. And let's see, how do I want to? Because it's like this is a good idea, so I want to play this out a bit. I like it. The owl kind of looks down at you, puffs up its feathers, and actually kind of opens its wings a bit, flaps those a little, and it says, I am Night Breeze.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Night Breeze.
That's not creepy at all. I am pleasant thing.
It has been long since we have spoken. So long. Now, what are the languages that you actually know?
Just common and halfling.
Common and halfling, okay. But you do have kind of that, I don't know, kind of forest magic-y,
Fae thing, yeah.
Fae thing going on as well. You've heard this language very sparsely spoken by elders in your community, and a very select group of elders at that. Let's see here. What kind of a knowledge base do you have? I'll give you that much, but let's have you throw out a. Oh shoot! What are your proficiencies with knowledge base? You probably have like a knowledge arcana type thing, and
with intellect, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, arcana and nature.
I think Pathfinder's creeping into our D&D game.
It is. Sorry, I gotta stop it.
And animals.
And animals. You speak with animals?
Animal handling.
Animal handling. Well, I can handle.
Yeah, no, it'd either be arcana or nature.
Do your arcana. Okay. Your arcana. This will solidify that memory in your mind. Or it might not.
Oh
my. Okay.
Or not.
What happened?
All right. You were pretty young when you came across this group of elder halflings. They wander a lot, and they are definitely a lot more part of the nature around you than even the people that were in your
Cool.
family and your group. So yeah. So there you go. All right.
So I'm getting the idea that these are transformed elder halflings, is what you're telling me?
Maybe more of what the halflings were up to. You are on the right path, though.
Like the halflings are creating these birds?
That little train of thought right there started at the right station.
Okay.
Now I'm introducing steampunk into the game by mentioning train. Dang it. Alright.
I'm waiting for this owl to expel an owl pellet with a human hand bones in it.
Oh, jeez.
Feed us the humans.
That'd be awesome.
Alright, let's get into it.
So,
Okay.
I'm gonna say, you know, that my mission here is more than carrying a cargo to a town. Darkness is coming from the north, and I need the power of my grandfather Silas and the elders to understand better where I should go and what I should do.
Darkness is here already.
Great.
Again, not creepy at all.
Yeah.
It turns its head like away from you, kind of like rotates its head backwards, and it's kind of looking behind it.
Nice. Yeah. Good.
And then it looks back to you again.
What should I do? How can I stop it?
You are one. They are many.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
Do you still stand?
Of course.
Good.
My grandfather stood when his own people opposed him.
What do you do with that? And he points towards the little stick that you have there. Kind of with his little outstretched claw, he actually sends a digit, or points a digit towards it. His long talon kind of gleaming in the firelight.
I'm gonna tell him the story of where we found it. Explain that it came from the hand of a goblin, and I'm trying to understand how that might have come to be.
Two legs, using magic they do not understand. Staff breaks because they do not understand.
Seems reasonable. Who used it?
The red.
Do I know, just as a wizard, do I happen to know anything about these people? Other than maybe just historical knowledge kind of stuff?
It syncs up with, you know, the symbology you saw on the staff, that it would be involved with the red wizards. They usually work out of Hillsfar, that's kind of where their stronghold is. But they are known for exploring, and again, I may be stretching a little bit of some of the Forgotten Realms lore. I'm kind of branching it off into my own stuff. But they are known for exploring the outer boundaries of magic. Kind of, they're constantly sending their arcane arts out into the outer fringes and trying to find as much of the more radical spells that they can design as possible. Definitely pushing the boundaries of what's natural and what's in the order of the universe. And they are constantly looking for different wells of magic to draw from. And
Oh.
you are that's one of the reasons why you are trying to stand in this fight, as you've been saying, as you've been, wanting to try and return a lot of this to the natural order of things. These guys are definitely, if anything could be an antithesis to what you stand for, they would be. Because it's not just that they're out there like Melvon, where it's almost becoming a mechanized place where it's just hammer and anvil and steel and oil and fire and forging and everything that Baerd loves. This is the Red Wizards actually taking magic and making that into something that kind of turns your heart in that direction. I don't know how you want to describe it. It's just they're using magic in much a similar way, not in the natural way that it was intended.
Okay, I'm gonna actually get a little angry-ish, and
Angry-ish?
yeah, and sort of, well, because I do have some negative traits in my background. This idea that I believe that I should have more power so that I can do more good, and go on a bit of a kind of look at the staff, and talk about how these fools try to dig into powers they couldn't understand, and they couldn't control them, but I believe I could, and if I did, I could set things right.
Okay.
Oh, this is not going to end well.
I'm having fun.
This is not going to end well.
And then I
Okay.
open my pack and pull out the spell book.
The spell book, that's right. Okay, the spell book, and I think I may have accidentally put it into the message there, but you'll see there is a DC for it. It is locked. It does have a little lock on it. And you can tell that there have been just inane attempts at trying to get into this. It screams big stupid goblins probably looking for something to eat inside the book, because they've been trying to claw at it and open it up. And the way this clasp works, normally you have a book and it'll have the open page faces around the front, but this lock is actually a plate that goes along the whole front of the opposite side of the spine, kind of keeping that closed. So,
Okay.
so yeah, it has a little lock on the end of it, or that's set there. Doesn't look like they've damaged that too much. It's not like they've been ramming swords into it or something like that. So,
Any of the inscriptions that seem to indicate that it came from the said Red Wizards?
there is a symbol on the book. It doesn't match anything that's on the staff. The symbol on the book actually looks like. Actually, let's see if I'll draw it on Roll20, and then I'll make you a better drawing for you later. So let's do this. You guys are on this map here. Let's do this. Do a little freehand. All right. So while you're doing that, over in the campsite, kind of along the same lines, actually I'll just say this. Over in the campsite, Baerd and Kindrik. Kindrik, you've been asleep for a little while. Silas has been over there for maybe about an hour or so at this stage. You kind of start edging a little bit away from the fire, because the fire is starting to get a little bit bigger. Not so much edging, but it wakes you up enough to where you're like, ugh, my face is too close to the fire. I'm going to kind of move back a bit.
Fires don't grow. Just saying.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay, so I owe you an attempt at a drawing. So it's kind of like this. Yeah, really, I'd have to forgive my horrible drawing here.
It's a rocket ship.
Da, 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 da.
It's a heavy metal
So
guitar.
It's kind of like this, and in the middle of it, as can only be done in the good fantasy realm,
There's an eye.
there is an eye. So it looks a lot better than that, but there you go. That's kind of the gist of it. So that is on the cover of the book. It's not a symbol you're familiar with at this point, but there you go.
Okay.
All right. So,
Is that all it says? Is there anything written on the spine of the book?
I don't know. You're not there, Kindrik.
Oh, I'm not. I'm omnipresent. I'm wondering why the fire is growing.
All right, Baerd, you're starting to feel a little bit toasty. Oh, I think Mike fell asleep.
I did. I'm out.
Mr. Perna, you're falling asleep,
Yes.
bud.
It's late, but
Sorry, man. It is late. It is late. Sorry, guy. All right. So,
I'm with you. Crazy things are coming out in the woods and
Alright.
telling us that bad things are happening and strange symbols with eyes. I'm with you.
I'm with you. I'm all on it. Okay. Back to Silas. So you've seen the book. You tested the lock a little bit. It doesn't seem to want to open up too much. But as you're looking at that staff and you're having some of those feelings, that if there was some way to maybe make sure I'm interpreting this right, make sure there's some way that maybe you could tap into this and somehow use that to your advantage in this kind of a fight. The staff starts to warm in your hand.
Sweet.
Oh, we gave the face melter something that really literally melts faces, didn't we?
All right, so as that's happening, you hear a fluttering from up in the branches, and the bird opens its wings, and it turns to fly away.
I thank him.
And it circles once and then flaps and then heads off into the west.
Okay.
All right. So as you do that, as you look up at the owl leaving, that warmth kind of in your hand and the staff fades a bit, and then it goes back to being just kind of a staff or a broken staff.
Okay.
As you look down at it, though, one of the symbols there looks like it is a circle inset within a. It could be an oval, but it's been kind of scratched away a bit.
I'm
But
gonna
it
need
seems-
you to actually draw it so I can know what it looks like.
Darn it!
Just kidding.
All right, I'll give you a drawing. I'll give you a drawing here, boy.
What's with an oval?
A drawing. There, it's a square.
Are you happy now?
Are you happy
I
now?
am much. Thank you.
All right, so there's a circle, and then there's sort of, I guess, kind of like you'd want to say, like an oval that's kind of drawn around it.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, then you kind of get an idea what that is. The middle part here, though, could have sworn it didn't have kind of a charred look to it, but it does seem to have that now.
Okay.
So a bit of a burn mark. All right, so Kindrik, Kindrik and Baerd, if you're still kind of drowsy a bit, but still kind of sleeping a bit, you notice that the fire tamps down back to its normal heat level, as it were.
So that
And-
extra heat was from whatever this guy was doing?
No idea, my friend. You, my friend, have no idea.
I have no idea.
No.
And I keep my knowledge to myself. Thank you very much.
Ah, man, this is where I was like, maybe I should drop the other two from the call. Nah. This is the part where I go off into another room and kind of run it and then come back.
This
Okay.
is where whispers would come in well, right? If we were just using Roll20.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we could be doing that back and forth.
That doesn't make it for good TV, though.
No, it does
No.
not. It does not. So we can blame the audience for that. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so you
Back to watch.
yeah, you come back to watch, and about the time that the bird's flying away, you notice that you stare after it as it flaps into the sky and it disappears into the darkness to the west. And you look back, at the staff, and you see that what you think may be kind of a scorch mark with that little iris part. And then you look over to the east, and you see the soft gray glow of sunrise coming. So, dawn of a new day. You guys have made it through the evening. And there you go.
Okay.
All right. So, camp breaks. You guys have a little bit of chow, whatever trail rations you may have brought with you. Gentry comes over as they're kind of getting ready to go. Undil is still complaining. He looks a little bit better, like they've been able to dress his wounds and stuff, significantly better than they were last night. Look, I just want to go. I want to get on the road, and I want to get out of here, and I want to go to Black Horse, and then I want to get back home. So can we just leave now? Is the dwarves and the halfling coming or not? And Gentry just kind of gives him a look, like saying, just shut that guy up. So how is it, boys? Are you guys going to be coming along with us? Like I said, you watch our back, we watch yours. We get the Black Horse in one piece. I mean, hell's bells, if you guys are going to stay a couple days, we can come back with you to Melvon, because we will be eventually returning back home.
We need to send them on somehow, because we still have the hole. which we're not even going to get to tonight, probably.
Yeah, probably not. Sorry, guys.
I'm becoming more and more leery of what we're going to find in the hole when strange spirits of the forest are saying darkness is upon us.
It's already here.
Yeah. But I can't... I'm
Okay,
trying hard not to play with the meta here, so I can't,
I'm going to look at these guys and tell them we're not moving on. And you shouldn't either. You will not make it.
Nice.
What are you talking about? You're some kind of clairvoyant halfling or something? I've never heard of those. Usually it's those elves or whatever that are back there. Back in Melvon, they had some of those soothsayers and crystal balls or whatever. What, you see something on watch you didn't tell me about?
I'm going to kind of interject in there, and I'm just going to be like, we're in his backyard. I wouldn't mess with him. When he says something's not right, it's not right.
Okay. Well, how long are we supposed to wait? We need a couple hours or something? What are you looking to do?
We're going to explore what is it, a well? A cavern?
Big hole.
Yeah, it's a big hole, has that rickety stair.
The excavation.
The one you were looking at with those rickety stairs going down?
The same.
You're crazier than I thought you were, coming charging into a goblin camp, throwing fire all around. Look, much as we respect you guys and thank you for helping us out, I mean, really, you guys want to go down to a place like that? You're not going to get me and my boys down there, especially when I got this half-elf climbing up my back. And we got a job to do.
We wouldn't ask you to follow.
Well,
But we
much
do
obliged.
recommend you stay with us. You believe that there's darkness below. The darkness is here. See what I did there?
He kind of has. You see him kind of have like a little bit of a shiver in his spine, and then he kind of looks perplexed a bit because he's trying to figure out how on earth he's getting a shiver in his spine from a halfling. But all right, look, how long you fellas need? I mean, are you guys gonna take this down to the, until you pop out and, I don't know, on the Sword Coast or something? I mean, are you just gonna go and just take a look?
2 days. If after 2 days we haven't returned, you can take our cart
Mules.
with you, and the gold that comes along with it. I think it's 100 gold on the other side, right?
Something like that.
100 gold. What, in the card?
No, on the other, upon delivery.
All right.
What was the price upon delivery? It was a lot, right? 100 gold, something like that?
Yeah, that's when you return to Melvant, you'd get the 100 gold.
Yeah, I explained that to him.
Yeah, I'd say this.
Yeah, I say that. The guy looks at you and he's looking back at his people. I'd give you a day. I gotta have this guy in Black Horse by tomorrow. We were gonna try and get there early and try and beat the storm that's coming. And as he says that, you guys look up in the sky and you can see the heavier clouds billowing. May not start snowing or raining yet, but you can tell it's coming.
Works for me.
So we give you a day.
Yes.
And if you guys aren't back within the day, or at least by tomorrow morning, because we ain't going to light out any time in the afternoon, so if you guys aren't back by first light tomorrow, we leave.
Agreed.
And we get that cart, and we get the mules. And we get the gold.
Correct.
We just talked to Blacklebuck, he's going to give us the gold. Do we need any kind of proof or anything? You guys have a writ or something?
I have no idea.
No, you guys don't. It's
No,
basically
no.
just word of honor. All right.
Yeah, Baerd, that's your part of the business there.
Yeah, no, it's on word. And so I'm just gonna look at him and go, well,
Show him your holy peace.
Hey, I don't want to see anybody's holy piece of nothing.
I was
Right?
waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
I've only known you guys for a day. I mean, come on.
Baerd, I'm just gonna pretty much just walk right up to him and be like, "Oh, well, we wouldn't ask you to come with us." And I'm pretty confident that you're a little bit on the, shall we say, untrusting side. So I think you're gonna wait here. And if it takes us a day, and if it takes us 2, take us a week, I trust you'll be here. All Father preserve you.
You're gonna have to roll something on that, because you just got done telling him he could wait a day and light out.
Intimidation.
Hold on, let me get back to... For those of you who wondering why a lawful good priest just said that, I also rolled a not-so-pleasant aspect to my character that says, my guy basically is going to look at this guy and his lack of faith disturbs him. My guy basically does not tolerate that kind of shenanigan. Or intimidation, we said?
Yeah, let's do it.
Come on, big number.
Oh.
No, neither one of those are big.
Oh.
All right, Kindrik. As I say this, I'm gonna have you roll a. Let's see here. What do you have? What do you have? What do you have? What do you have? Let me take a look at your character sheet here real quick. And your skills. All right. Let's have you roll a insight roll.
Ugh, the dice have left us.
Silas, it's up to you. Give me an insight roll.
Somebody roll something good.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right. So, Baerd says that, and Gentry, he basically just kind of looks at you and says, all right, look, I'll give you the day. I might even give you half a day the next day, so a day and a half. You guys get back here by then. 1, 2, all 3 of you. Fine, great. If you're not here by the time noon is, the sun's right above our heads, or whatever the hell we can see as the sun, we are leaving. We're going to bring those. We're going to bring the wagon, the supplies. We're going to deliver it. We're going to make good on this job because that's our reps on the line as well. And we'll deliver whatever kind of message you want us to this Black Buck. I met the guy one or twice. He's a good egg, but he's gonna want some kind of message from you, knowing that that you guys gave this over to us legit wise. So, what kind of message you want us to deliver?
Baerd, you speak like every language there is, correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, let's write a message in a language that they don't know.
Nice.
Well, let's see. What
He's a halfling. I could write in halfling. Can you write in halfling? Is that a writable language?
Yeah, you can write in like halfling, sure.
I know Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Halfling, Gnomish, and Orc.
The orcs have my supplies. I'm just kidding.
So and these gentlemen, we have what is this? A half elf and 2 humans, right?
3 humans.
3 humans.
Correct.
Yeah, and halfling is essentially a hidden language that isn't used in public, so I think it'd be safe to do it in halfling.
I can do it in halfling.
Yeah,
I
there you go.
can talk halfling. Watch out. Well, you and also Kindrik, I think, has, and again, I'm trying to make sure my Pathfinder isn't getting into my D&D.
Thieves can't.
There you go.
So, okay, we can write something.
So a combination of halfling and thieves can't.
So
That'll do the job.
I can hide the message in seemingly normal conversation, but I don't know about written. It takes 4 times longer to convey such a message.
Isn't thieves can't like weird finger movements and stuff?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I think we can put some kind of insinuation into the language here as well. So
Yeah.
just in the off chance that these clowns speak halfling.
Okay.
That's the DM's way of saying, yeah, this will work. That was a good idea.
There you go.
Yeah, you're good with that.
So no, we're just gonna tell him that. What do we know? Goblins, hobgoblins. What was it? A bugbear? Did you say?
Yep, and there was they have the claws of a bugbear. It looks like they killed, or at least they claim they killed.
Confirmed. Greater threat imminent. Exploring further. Will advise.
Any word about the wagon and stuff?
No, I don't care about the wagon.
Well, the problem is that we have special mission from whatever's hidden on that wagon, right? We
No,
don't have
this
a
is our
message.
special mission.
Yeah, that's Silas is right of it. It's basically a combo effect here. First, you're delivering these supplies, then you're going to try and figure out what kind of stuff they want to have you bring back, because there's something you need to bring back and to whom it's being delivered. But in addition to that, you got to
We're not
find
going
out.
to tell him about that part.
That's fine. No worries.
Yeah.
I didn't think you would be. But the other side of it too is what Silas is, I think you're alluding to, is that you are trying to investigate what's going on out here. I mean, you've heard
Right.
some rumor of increased activity of goblins and even orcs a little further north.
the greenskins are restless, and we were supposed to find out why.
You got it.
Right. And then mention something about the red wizards.
Mm-hmm. Well, he didn't quite mention anything about the Red Wizards. I don't believe he did.
No,
Your
I'm
first
mentioning,
clue-
I'm
Oh, yeah,
mentioning
you
something
are.
about the red wizards in the
Ah.
note. Yeah.
Oh, okay. How do
So
you want to?
you would have to actually, because technically you haven't informed much of the Red Wizard stuff to us, have you?
Well, we knew about the staff.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I will definitely compose a note in a dialect of Halfling, lesser known to to ancient tribes,
Love it.
and send them with that, and saying that it's basically a writ that he will know, and he'll know that it's clearly from us.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll do that. I'll make sure the message gets to him. But just, yeah. In all honesty, I'd rather travel out down the road with you guys, watching our backs. But, a day and a half. Let's see what fate brings. Maybe Lady Luck will see you three back up top. Yeah, we'll make sure your message gets delivered if you don't make it.
Into the hole. Let's go.
The whole thing's gonna be moot anyway because we're gonna come back. So don't you worry about it.
Very good. And as you guys kind of start packing up and moving off, Harlan comes up to you and he's kind of shuffling all along, and Gentry and Stiv are talking with Undil, and Undil's kind of being animated. Like, you hear a couple choice words of like, what do you mean? Why the devil aren't they coming with us? I can't depend on you two idiots to keep me alive. So you're kind of hearing some of that going back and forth. And in the midst of that, Harlan sneaks over to you guys, and he holds out a little thin pouch, small enough to hold 2 vials in it. He says, "Look, you guys saved my life. The least I can do is give you this. So take it in good health. I hope you guys will be back here in a day and a half." And he turns back and he heads back to the group. And inside the pouch are 2 more potions of Cure Light Wounds.
Yeah, it's never good when you're about to go in a hole and you get an extra couple of potions.
Now. Don't be
Why
so
are there
negative.
so many health potions and the music's changed?
You sound like you just talked with a ghostly owl or something. I mean, come on.
And told you darkness is here.
Yeah. So now you have in your possession some other items that you received from the
Right.
combat yesterday. That
These
does
are
not include
possessions.
these 2 Cure Light potions are on top of that.
Okay, so
So
this
you
is
now-
the stuff from the email that you were talking about.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'm gonna.
The encounter treasure.
Correct.
So
There
while they were kind of gathering stuff up. Well, there you go. Nice. Negotiation stake. Wizard staff inspections. Nice. Okay. So the jetstone ring that you guys have, you managed to identify that last session, I believe. It's a gold ring with a jet black stone in it, and it gives you a +1 resistance to necrotic damage. So you guys decide how you want to split that stuff up. I don't know.
Alright, so how many healing potions do we have in total, guys? We got the 2, 4, and then we each had 1, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they gave us 1 each when we left, so we should have, what's that, 6, 10 total healing potions?
Right. I'm trying to remember. I didn't get that far in the recording from last session, but I'm trying to remember if one of the potions was used last time in the big combat with the encampment, or was that a healing spell that you used?
That was me healing.
Okay. All right. Good.
So,
Okay. So yeah.
So, wait, I missed something. So we should have some potions already?
Mm-hmm. You had potions that were given to you before you left, and then you found 2 potions in the encampment, and then you got 2 more potions from Harlan. That doesn't count the little vial of poison that you have, Kindrik, as well. You're
I
not
have
really
that.
sure what that does, but you do know that it just a bare touch of it on your fingertip, you felt a little numbness.
So I am going to be collecting the things that we have
Okay.
that we're not distributing. So I think Kindrik and I should both carry at least 4 of the healing potions.
Okay,
And
and then
then-
that'll give 2 to
Yeah.
to.
Does that seem okay with everybody?
Baerd, you okay with that, Baerd?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. And then
Alright,
plus you have
so-
your new channel divinity if things get really bad. So
My
that
eye
helps.
gets super good at one thing.
So I'm keeping track of the gold.
Okay.
Just assume it's all divided, but rather than do the math right now, we'll wait and do the math at the end.
Math is hard late at night, let me tell you.
And,
So, how many potions am I holding?
4.
You got.
I
How's
have
that?
4?
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
I don't need the ring, and I don't need the studded leather either. I believe that was goblin studded leather, or was that human studded?
It was hobgoblin, so it's. You'd be kind of swimming in it. It might fit onto a smaller framed human. So I mean,
Just throw it in the cart.
Yeah. Okay.
It has very little
Alright.
value, financial value, right?
Yeah. No, it doesn't. I mean, it might be used for like. I think you could use it in a pinch, but yeah, it may have more value as scrap than anything else.
And the short swords, does anybody have a need for those? That would be Kindrik.
Yeah, I'm good with the hammer.
You wanted a couple more short swords there, Kendrick?
Sure, might as well add them to my.
Well, just because I'm looking at this and it looks like you're getting the book and the negotiation stick, I wouldn't mind if I could get my hands on the gold ring. It's shiny and Baerd would like it.
Nice. And it's got
It's
that
weird.
mysterious black jet stone on there. And it actually goes pretty well with your, as a cleric, traditional vision applied, obviously, of,
Well-
fighting the undead.
Again, if we're going with the deeper levels of character here, Baerd likes his fancies.
Nice.
Baerd
right.
got used to
That's
the
right.
rich life in the temple, and he
That's
kind of doesn't
right.
like the road much.
It's actually is outside of the kinds of, absconded thievery that's going on in Melvant, and then outside of the noble houses. Yeah, this is a nice little break in pace to see a shiny. All right, cool. So, you guys head over into the forest, and we'll break here. I don't think we're gonna go anywhere major, but I will do this. I'll leave you. If I can get to it here. All right, so you guys get to the that hole, and you're able to kind of shine a torch down there for Silas's benefit. But this is what you see.
Oh, that looks sturdy.
Awesome.
It's too bad that you guys are big old heavy dwarves.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's where we'll cut it for the evening.
All right.
So nice work, guys. We didn't go very far. We had like 75 combats last time. No combat this time, but we did have some interesting development.
For those of you playing our home game, that's kind of how this works.
Amen. That's right. All right, cool, guys.
All we are doing is continually demonstrating just how a role-playing session will work.
Right.
That's right. Okay, so well, very good. Then next time we get together, we'll be exploring into this mysterious cavern. We'll be heading down the hole to find out where it leads. Cool.